I have this DX7 here in edit mode at the moment, and now I'm going to show you what happens when some things are changed on it. Okay, so here's the DX7. This is the original model, DX7, and I've got it in edit mode at the moment. I've selected an algorithm, number 8, which is shown on the panel up here, and at the moment I've switched off all the oscillators except one. So if I play a note on the keyboard now, what we get is a sine tone. But if I add another oscillator, the sound has changed a little, and another, bigger change, and so on. You'll also notice as you listen to the sound that it changes over time, which is a feature of frequency modulation synthesis. Now, the quality of sound is a result very often of the side bands that are produced by frequency modulation. And we can actually change the tuning of an oscillator or multiple oscillators in order to affect the side bands that are produced. For example, I'll change the tuning of one of the sine waves, one of the oscillators, or operators as they are called on this machine, and listen to the effect that's produced. If you listen to the sound that came out then, you'll hear some low frequency sounds that sometimes get progressively lower, high frequency sounds that get progressively higher. These are the side bands that are produced by frequency modulation. And ultimately contribute to the sound that the instrument produces. You may have noticed that sometimes the sound produced is more complex than others. For example, there's a lot more harmonics in this sound than, say, this one. All of that has to do with the way in which the oscillators are tuned. And we can tune these oscillators quite finely. For example, to produce more and more complex sounds. Again, the frequency relationship between the oscillators determines the side bands that are produced and what their relationship to one another actually is. And the result is a more or less complicated sound according to how you tune them. That's the basis, the simple basis of FM synthesis. Of course, this machine is capable of a great deal more than that. And it was well known in particular for producing percussion sounds, which were much more difficult to synthesize on analog synthesizers. For example, one of John Chowning's own compositions featured those bell sounds extensively. And it was the ability to make sounds like that, which were previously quite difficult to make, and also that were actually relatively realistic, that made the DX7 such a popular instrument.